Katie McCall was the daughter of a single mother raised on the shores of the Black Lake, a mysterious body of water that instilled fear in the locals. Isolated by dense forests and a notorious reputation, the Black Lake was a place no sensible person dared to venture. But Katie was stubborn and bold. Her grandfather, old Liam, told her stories of how the lake possessed its own will, as if a water demon consumed those who dared to approach its shores. However, Katie dismissed it all as superstition. One gloomy autumn day, Katie decided to explore the mysteries of the Black Lake. She packed a backpack with provisions, a flashlight, and her family's cherished knife. With a blanket over her head and a heart full of determination, she ventured into the deep woods. The deeper she went into the dense foliage, the quieter it became around her. The leaves above her head muffled all sounds, and the wind whispered ominous predictions. But Katie pressed on, as if possessed by the investigation of the secrets that the Black Lake. Finally, she reached the shore. The water seemed dark, as if it absorbed light in its bottomless chalice. The silence was so profound that it felt like the entire world was holding its breath. Katie lowered her backpack and sat on a rock, immersed in contemplation. However, her thoughts were interrupted by sounds emanating from the water. Something was moving on the surface. Waves suddenly appeared out of nowhere, as if subterranean currents came. And then she saw him, the silhouette of a man floating on the water's surface. He was clad in clothing from a bygone era, his eyes glowing white in the darkness. He had no face, yet Katie felt his gaze piercing her soul. Fear paralyzed her. She wanted to scream, to run, but her legs refused to obey. The man kept approaching, his movements smooth, as if he were swimming through the darkness of hell itself. And then he stopped, just a few meters from the shore. His white eyes stared at Katie, and she felt herself losing consciousness under his relentless gaze. But something changed. The man began to dissolve slowly, as if his form was merging with the water. Katie shuddered as droplets of water fell on her face. She jumped up and ran, not looking back, even though the forest around her seemed alive, its branches grabbing at her clothes as if trying to hold her. She ran for miles, not knowing where to go, her heart pounding so hard it felt like it would burst out of her chest. But eventually, she emerged from the forest and collapsed on the ground, exhausted and drained. When Katie regained consciousness, she was at home, in her bed. She startled, remembering everything that happened at the Black Lake. But was it a dream? She tried to convince herself, but something inside her wouldn't let her rest. Days passed, but Katie couldn't forget the encounter on the lakeshore. She began to explore her family history and discovered that her ancestors had passed down tales of mysterious occurrences and disappearances at the lake, of strange visions and curses that haunted those who dared disturb the water demon's rest. And then, one ominous evening, Katie found herself again on the shore of the Black Lake. The wind stirred the waves, as if the water ghost itself was awakening from a deep slumber. But this time, Katie was not alone. From the dark water emerged her grandfather, Liam, with a sad gaze and a mysterious smile. He told her a story she had never heard, a story of how he himself encountered the water demon and pledged to guard its secrets. Katie realized that the Black Lake held not only horror but also centuries-old wisdom. She became its guardian, tasked with maintaining the balance between worlds. And in that moment, when she embraced her role, the lake became calm and tranquil, as if blessing her new destiny. Thus ended the tale of the Black Lake, its water demon, and the girl who became its guardian. But everyone who hears this story wonders, what secrets might the dark lake in the heart of the forgotten forest conceal, and are they ready to become its keeper?